It was a sea monster. She held onto the back of the boat and was dragging us back.
It really felt like that.
Hello and welcome to Croatia. We're in a lovely bay just north of Rovinj, and by the time we get to Montenegro we'll have pretty much cruised the whole of the coastline.
Yeah, it wasn't such a great trip over though, as you'll see from the film. Mixed feelings about leaving Italy, but they've got something to celebrate this weekend.
They have. Congratulations to Italy for winning the Eurovision Song Contest, and congratulations to England for getting 0 points again. Well, I mean, I think it's a thing.
I don't know if they did at the end. The judging, the actual judging, they got 0. We didn't see the end bit. Maybe they got some from the public.
Okay, well, I think 0 points is great. Anyway, I hope you like the film.
Coming up, getting rid of the unwanted hitchhikers. Hitting freaky weather on our way to Croatia. And drinking in the flowers of Četoza. First light on a calm spring morning. It's time to bid farewell to Venice. The parkland of Četoza, our home for 8 months, is a respite for Venetians escaping the busy life on the grand main island. It's been peaceful, beautiful, and it's only a 15-minute boat ride away from the city. We will miss it. Our route out is a channel about 5 metres deep, taking us past the Mose barrier and into the open water. Our destination today is Umag in Croatia. With a bit of favourable wind, we should get there by tea time.
So this is it, leaving the lagoon for the last time. This is the Mose barrier, which has saved Venice from flooding, pretty much.
Yeah.
They had one flood, didn't they, when they forgot to close it?
Yeah. That would do it.
It does work. So yeah, this is it. Out of the lagoon into the sea, back to sailing.
I'm looking forward to it. I have to say, getting the sails up.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. It'll be good.
We need some wind first though.
What are you talking about?
It's flat calm. They said it was going to rain today and it's actually beautiful, but there's no wind. It should get quite windy later on. It's certainly going to be enough to sail most of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Predict wind said we'd be quite good for most of the crossing.
Yeah, I'm just going to do a comparison.
Okay.
So I'm checking all the different systems. I've got the Savvy Navi one here, which is, if you've looked at the video for that, puts the weather and there's no tide here, but it puts the weather into the prediction, and it's saying it will take 7 hours 28 minutes, so we'll get there just before 4. What does Navionics say?
Navionics says 5.
5, okay, so it's a little bit longer, but that doesn't know about the weather. It says on this is slowly increasing wind, so light, well yeah, there's nothing at the moment, to to moderate.
There's a ripple, look.
There's a ripple, yeah, there's not enough to sail. So I'll have a look at the weather apps as well. There's some new ones. If you do predict wind, which is the one I normally prefer, and it's got a couple of models on there, they've added some different models. One of them is quite interesting. This one's Spire. It's something where apparently they use satellites to look at other GPS satellites, to look at their signal coming through the atmosphere, and by the diffraction of that work out what's happening in the atmosphere. So it's supposed to be very good for ocean going stuff, so not so much for local.
Yes, you guessed it, still no wind. But we have got the sails up and we are ever optimistic that the breeze will improve. But the swell is making for a rather bumpy start to the journey.
It's a little bit rolly. I can see the wind. I can see it. It's over there. It just needs to come this way.
Only one thing for it now, fishing.
Well, we nearly got up to 2 knots at one point. Is that good for fishing?
Well, we'll find out. I think we can't fail now. We've got all this tackle. This was sent to us by Bill Hall, one of our viewers, who very kindly sends it all the way from California, I think he is. You can tell he's American because the size of the hooks. You do things big in America. If you're going to catch a fish, catch a big one. They're all like that. I mean, there's these with these sort of cedar jiggles. I must admit, I don't know what most of them are for yet. I'm looking them up. Bill has sent me a sort of list of instructions as well, so I'm going to go through those. I bought myself a rod. It's the best trolling rod I could find. They don't really have them in Venice because they don't really do the trolling type thing, but it's sort of a short one. I think the best ones have little rollers on, so maybe later I'll get one of those. But I've got a good reel. The reel I had before was for casting, apparently. This is a trolling reel. See, they're great. Really sort of colourful lures with the big hook and a wire trace. So I think that might be a thing. You see, I've never had that before, and I did use the rig quite a few times before, if you remember, and thought maybe a fish had bitten through it. So can't bite through those. So
I think they had bitten through it. You
Yeah,
caught loads of fish, Steve. You
I know,
just haven't-
loads. I mean, I would have caught 3 or 4 each time, I'm sure, every time. No problem. You've got these sort of flappy ones. I think that's one I already had, actually, that one. And you've got these, which are, you tow them along and they flap like that, and disturb the top and bring the big fish up. So I'll put these on what I used to use, the reel, and then use the rod for fishing. So, let's get some lunch. Which one shall I pick?
A small one.
What one do you think? A small one. You just want to get small fish. I think I'm going to try.
I do not want a whale.
Okay, let's do it. How do I release it? There. No. Not going fast enough to pull it out. I thought it was locked, it's just not.
How much do you have to put out then?
Not sure.
Okay.
I have to read up on that. But then I put a bit of pressure on, so when we get one, you can take it, but not that fast. And then I think, shove it in there. Job done.
What could possibly go wrong? The flapping bird, that's the technical name, is struggling to actually flap in this very still water, but you never know. An hour later, and we spot what looks like something of a party.
There is definitely something happening underneath the water there.
I think we're going to see dolphins and catch a fish at the same time.
A feeding frenzy. If you can't catch a fish, go to a shoal of fish. There is no hope.
No hope then, I'm afraid. We put the rod away and shelter from the rain.
It has come to this, Steve. It's raining. We're playing cards.
There's nothing unusual in that. We play cards quite a lot, and it is nice in the doghouse when it's raining, but you can see it's pretty grey and miserable. But we're doing 4 knots now, at least. It's better than having the engine on.
It is much better. In the end, we'd have sailed about half of it, I guess. But we're going to get in a bit later, aren't we?
Yeah, it says we're going to get in at 8 o'clock. It's drifting between 7:30 8 o'clock. That thing I did earlier with the looking at all the different weather predictions to try and find out which one's more accurate. Well,
Yeah.
None of them were. None of them. They're bloody miles out. In fact, Savvy Navy I think was the closest. It said there wasn't much wind, but even that, they were out. I don't see how they can get it so wrong. It's rubbish.
And in the wrong direction. But we are now with the wind behind us, which is what we were supposed to have for the whole day. So finally we should be coming in the right direction to the right place, and hopefully we've got all our documents sorted out and Sunday evening isn't too tortuous.
Got documents. Yeah, I can't find my yellow flag, so I'm going to use a duster. but that'll be okay. Yes, I hope they're not too grumpy on a 8 o'clock on a Sunday. So yeah.
And there's somewhere for us to drop an anchor, because that's the thing. We haven't really planned to stay anywhere other than in an anchorage.
No, but it looks like there is in the middle of the bay, and I mean there is a marina there. If they force us to go into a marina, we can do that. But hopefully we can just anchor in that bay,
Yep.
even if we're late. So, fine.
Yes, we have a new card game, Monopoly without the board. Sacrilege, I know. By now the wind is really picking up. This is even more than was forecast, and at last it feels like we're sailing. But as we get close to land and come to change the flags, Steve realises the Italian one is stuck. Rather than go up the mast in the rain, he throws up another line with eventual success. Oh, nearly! Yay! Yay! As we reach the entrance to Umeg, which is quite tricky to get into, the wind is up to about 30 knots.
Where's the duster?
And Steve is putting up the relevant flags. So we're at the checking in point in a well-sheltered port before the Croatian flag and the duster are hauled up the mast.
That'll do for now. It's up. You can't complain.
Right. Now let's see what else they need from us. Passports and our vaccine card, it turns out. Then about £20 to anchor for the night.
Well, the sun's come out now. It got really quite windy and stormy last night. After the rain of coming in, the wind really got up even more. You can see in the distance now all that storm going off, and the wind's died off quite nicely. So that's nice. We'll get the dinghy off and go and do the rest of our check-in. We checked in. There's right behind us there is the dock, just for the police, a lovely policewoman that was very friendly and took all our details. Didn't have to get off the boat because of COVID. They just want to take the documents through and do it that way, so that's fine. But we've got to go back and do the bit where you pay all the money for cruising tax and all that sort of stuff with the harbour master. So we'll do that. You can see this mooring field that's here. We didn't use that. I prefer in winds just to have our own ground tackle, not that. I was just looking at the anchor alarm where we are. You can see there's a buoy just behind us here, so we've got it just about right, the gap between the mooring field and the super yachts in the distance over there. Once we stretched out, we're going to go around in a full circle now, I think. But yeah, we'll go on shore, see how it looks.
All is well in the morning as we prepare to go ashore. Welcome to Croatia.
So that's the second part of formalities done then. We had to pay in there on the first floor on this office. I think it is just a basic tax for being here, because there's another one we've got to pay online, isn't there?
There is. We have to pay for our boat and a day's here online. We've just had to pay just over £100 to be here, I think. So it's like a tax for existing on the sea.
But the big one's the online one, because that depends on how long you're here, isn't
Yeah.
it? And they take in everything to account, how long the boat is, how many berths you've got, all that sort of stuff. So we'll find out how much that one is. This is the dock.
It's about £200, by the way. I've just checked.
Is it?
If we're staying here a month, it's about £200 for our boat for a month.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. That's not as bad as I thought.
So
then,
all
for a
up
month.
£300 just over.
Yeah, that's not as bad as I thought. And yeah, this is the dock where you come in. Normally you just walk across from there. You do your there's a nice policewoman there yesterday that actually checked us in, but then she said no, just wait for today to go in there. So
But the good news is the sun's come out.
yeah,
The sea is calming, and I think we can get lunch here.
we can. It looks nice. Very pretty.
Yeah, it's lovely. Oh, this is what I'm looking for. The front.
Lunch on the seafront, shall we? Nice seafront restaurants, but all closed by the look of it. It's a ghost town. You think if you sit down, the people will magically appear?
I don't know. It seems to be open. I'm not sure. If not, then I'll go to the other
This is not open.
There's somewhere else.
There's nothing open about this place.
We'll have to go back to the square then, because they're working at the square.
Yeah. It's nice though, look at the sea. The sea's really calmed down.
Along some more empty alleyways and eventually round the corner, a lovely spot just for us.
So we did find a place that was open. Julie's got
Lovely grilled calamari. I'm happy. And veggies. And your meat. Come on, show them your meat.
Oh yeah, I've got meat and hot sauce as well, so perfect. Yeah.
After lunch we move a little way down the coast. A lovely evening and the promise of a good sail in the morning. It started well. 2 lines on the dinghy now. We've learnt our lesson. But as we hit the open water, Fair Isle begins to struggle. It feels as though something is holding us back.
I never do quite understand this. We're bashing our way completely straight into the wind, and there's a guy here, you're probably just about to see, going beautifully downwind, under engine. What a waste.
Despite some good wind, albeit in the wrong direction for us, we just aren't making much headway. Tacking isn't helping. The boat is taking water over the bow and heeling. Something is very wrong.
Well, we're going super slowly even for us. We've got 18 knots apparent wind and we're travelling at 4 knots. Something's going on. Steve's convinced it's muck on the hull. I think it must be more than that. Who knows? When we stop, we'll go down and have a look.
Julie thinks we picked up something on the way out. I've had a look over the transom. There's nothing. We're not trailing anything, so I don't think it's that. But you know, we've got so much growth on there. I think it's just this upwind. It's really affecting us. We've got weather helm on. We've got quite a bit of rudder on, so it's just slowing us right down. So quite a bit of cleaning to be done, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit cold for me, but I'll cheer you on.
The next morning, it's out with a brush.
So have you found the sea monster that's attached to the bottom of our boat that was holding us back yesterday?
Well, there's things like this, which are little groups of mussels. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's a little immature mussels, but I mean, it's not a huge amount, but there's sort of clumps of that going on around it, and this is just sort of weed and slime and stuff, but it's not horrendous. But he was slowing us down yesterday and we just couldn't point or anything, so God knows, I have to really get in. I'll go all around the top end. I mean, obviously this doesn't do much, just the top foot or so, and then there'll be lots of diving in the lovely cold water.
I still think
you'll love.
It was a sea monster. She held onto the back of the boat and was dragging us back.
It really felt like that.
For now though, muck on the boat will have to wait because there's a storm coming.
I think weird weather is going to be a theme of this part of the trip, because we've got some weird stuff happening again. You can see big cloud formation coming in. Wind's died down now, that heavy wind that we've had today coming up here. The headwind wasn't forecast at all, but what they have forecast is the borer, which comes from there. We can see there's some weird clouds on the horizon, and that could be up to 50 knots tomorrow. So we're the only ones in this bay, which is really quite nice because we let out a lot of chain, and so we'll be quite safe in here if it blows at us from over there. But actually the reason we chose this bay, it wasn't our first choice. Looking at the chart, there was a bay that on paper looks like it's much deeper, much better, but it's actually only looking at the pilot guide. It said it comes down a river valley in there if the borer blows and really funnels through. So we've avoided that and come in here. So hopefully we should be good. I'm going to show you this as well. I'll zoom in on it on another camera, but there's a very weird house that Judy spotted over there. If that was a car, they'd call it a cut and shunt. 2 cars sort of put together, 2 houses put together. What's that all about?
Well, I've just come up to see if it really is as bad out here as it sounds down below, and I can confirm that yes, it is. It's very windy. We've had a very noisy and rainy night. It stopped raining at least, but look, you can see it's pretty mizzy out there. No one's really around, and I think it's going to be like this for another couple of hours. and then we should be able to start heading south. We're rocking and rolling down below, but we'll sit tight for a bit. It's not too bad.
At first sight, it looks like there's nowhere to hide on this coastline, but take a closer look and there are plenty of little bays. It's just a matter of finding the right ones. Once you get down further, there's the fantastic natural harbour of Pula, which we visited on the way up. But this time we're heading for the islands, which we know are beautiful. All along it's pretty rocky. Some are marked, like this one coming into Porridge. We opted not to anchor round here anyway because the cost is eye-watering, and instead have found the place we're in now, which is free and uncrowded. We also need to further investigate what's clinging to our hull. The sides where weed usually grows isn't too bad, but underneath the crustaceans have really got a grip. This will take a lot of scraping. At least it looks like there is no serious damage though, and that's a relief.
And to celebrate our arrival, some elderflower cordial,
Lovely.
which I made from flowers I found in Venice.
In the last few days of our time on Certosa, the island flourished, and I couldn't resist the elderflowers. They look beautiful, and I'm sure they'll taste even better.
The best thing about elderflowers, of course, is elderflower cordial. So I'm going to make some on the boat.
The only slight problem is the lack of the usual ingredients.
Now I'm making this without citric acid because Venice doesn't have any. I went to nearly every chemist I could find in Venice yesterday, and then, as one does, I phoned my friend Louise, who has sent me a recipe which doesn't need citric acid. So I hope it's going to work. That should be enough. Now these are going to simmer for half an hour, and then I will add the sugar. This has been simmering for half an hour also. Now I'm going to pour the liquid through a tea towel and then add the sugar and lemon. Now this needs to heat gently until all the sugar is dissolved. Everyone tells me that even if it's in the fridge, it's not going to last very long. So we'll just find a nice place to anchor out and drink it.
We're going to be on a sugar rush for a while.
We are going to be on a sugar rush. But it's lovely. It's, well, we have lots of cordial in England, but here, I mean, they just don't seem to have it at all, which is surprising to me. So I'll make my own. Cheers.
Cheers, let's try it. That's really nice. It's not as sweet as you'd think it would be, with all that sugar in it. And it's going to be good because we're going to do some checks from here, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we'll take it with us. You just add water and then it keeps you going. It's a bit of a, it is a sugar rush though, really, as well. It is.
Yeah, but we're going to try and walk from here to Ravin, which is quite a hike. It's probably about 10k from here. And, you know, it's probably better than sailing there at the moment. One, because we'd probably get charged a lot of money to anchor outside it. And two, because we've still got these really strong 20 to 25 knot winds right on the nose. Sod's law, it's always the way. Normally we could tack up through that, but at the moment with all this rubbish on the hull, she's just not really sailing to windward very well at all. Drops off the wind, have to put some rudder on, slows you down even more, and I'm going to spend some time cleaning, I think, while we're here, even though the water's cold.
It is, it's freezing. I mean, I didn't even want to go in, but I'm going to have to help at some point though. When it warms up, then I'll do my bit. Sorry, I'm a bit of a wuss still.
Well, it'll warm up as we go south anyway, and we're looking forward to the islands, aren't we?
Yeah, that'll be lovely, because when we came through here to go to Italy last summer, we were in a rush. But now we've got a month here and then, I don't know, another month or so Montenegro. So I feel that the pace is about right now.
Montenegro looks like a real little gem. I mean, it is small, but it's got this massive inlet. It's like a sort of Norwegian fjord, but warmer.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to looking around there. And then then we've got to discuss what we're going to do with Albania, whether we're going to spend time there or not, because we can go through it later. But
Yes,
checking in
yes.
is tricky.
Anyway, that's far enough ahead for now. We're going to do some trekking, and thank you for watching. Thank you to our subscribers, and thank you especially to our patrons for keeping us going over the winter. So hopefully we can start making some proper films again now.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching.